Salam sejahtera, anda sedang menonton Agenda Awani bersama saya Rizal Zulkafli. Pada Isnin, kerajaan umumkan pakej perlindungan rakyat dan pemulihan ekonomi pemulih dengan memberi tumpuan dalam meneruskan agenda prihatin rakyat. Menyedari tentang keperluan untuk menyalurkan bantuan dipertingkatkan, antara yang menjadi tumpuan dalam pakej pemulih ini adalah berkaitan dengan jaminan sektor pekerjaan ketika negara masih berada dalam fasa Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan di bawah Pelan Pemulihan Negara. Kerajaan memperuntukkan 125 juta ringgit melalui Human Resource Development Corporation HRD Corp untuk melaksanakan inisiatif Place and Train di bawah program Janapreneur. Peruntukan ini dibuka kepada belia lepasan sekolah dan juga graduan dalam memberi latihan kemahiran dengan jaminan pekerjaan setelah tamat latihan. Dan satu lagi yang diumumkan oleh kerajaan pada Isnin adalah berkaitan pengecualian levy HRD Corp bagi tempoh 2 bulan akan diberi secara automatik kepada majikan yang tidak dapat beroperasi semasa Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan ataupun PKP. Jadi untuk bercakap mengenai perkara ini dan secara khususnya inisiatif dan program yang dijalankan oleh HRD Corp bagi menjana sektor pekerjaan ketika tempoh mencabar ini selaras dengan usaha ke arah Pelan Pemulihan Negara, bersama kita adalah Ketua Eksekutif HRD Corp, Datuk Syahul Hamid Daud. Datuk, thank you for joining us, dan izinkan saya meneruskan dalam bahasa Inggeris. Ya. Datuk, thank you for joining us. Datuk, can you take us through some of the HRD Corp's efforts to mitigate the impact of unemployment and the pandemic on Malaysian workforce and businesses over the past 1 year?
Assalamualaikum Rizal. Thank you so much for having me this morning in this session. Well, as a custodian of national human capital development, we have been hard at work to help Malaysia businesses and workforce navigate the pandemic over the last year. There are many initiatives that we have done, we have carried out in the last 15 months since the impact of this COVID-19. In fact, some of those national agenda we have been supporting very aggressively, which has been launched by the Honourable Prime Minister, and also it's been envisioned by my Minister, Dato' Sri M. Saravanan. Principally, we have changed many of our scope as well, HRD Corp. We primarily used to focus only on training and development, but pandemic has totally shifted us from just focusing on the training and development to many other aspects as well.
Mm-hmm. And how has the response been so far for the programs that you've done? Perhaps share with us the success stories, if I may.
Well, the first initiative that was launched was Penjana, which was launched by the Honourable Prime Minister. We had a Penjana HRDF. During that time, it was HRDF. Now we have changed the name to HRD Corp. Penjana HRDF was a very successful initiative. First of its kind in HRDF, dulu. We had a matching grant of total of 500 million, 250 million from HRD Corp itself, and 250 million came from the Ministry of Finance. So first time we have rolled out 5 different initiatives under the Penjana HRDF. Satu, we had Place and Train. A second initiative was B40. The third one was Gerak Insan Gemilang, which is gig for all those freelancers, and also the people who like to go into the entrepreneurship. The fourth one is on industry, IR 4.0, Industry Revolution 4.0. The last one was SME development. So we have a comprehensive plan, not missing out any respective target audiences. In fact, the program has impacted close to 60,000 people to date. We have secured the jobs of more than 5,000 people have secured jobs through our Place and Train, and another 15 to 16,000 people are in the midst of securing the job. They are going through the final end of the training program. Almost 43,000 Malaysians have completed training to date, and majority of them have gone into self-employment, freelancing. The beauty of this Penjana HRD was, you see many of them who have lost jobs, who have, have to temporarily halt their regular workforce, has gone into temporary, self-employment or maybe freelancing. So we have equipped those people in the relevant skills, and we upskill them to meet up to the market challenges.
If you could share with us, what are some of the skills that you have equipped these people with?
Well, I think we have, basically, HRD Corp, we don't do training programs. We facilitate training programs between the trainees and the training providers. What we do when we have requests from the training providers, the different training programs, some focusing on Industry 4.0, some focusing on V40. Let's say what sort of programs done in V40. V40, we cater for people who are ready to earn 1,500, 1,800 a month. For them, this 1,800 or 1,500 is so much important for the sustainability. So we train them on sewing classes. We train them on baking programs. Some of them know how to do baking, but they don't know how to do it professionally. They don't know how to do it properly. So we train them how to do it properly. We give them some of the equipments. We teach people how to go into some of the service related platforms. For example, welding. We also train them on air conditions repairing. Some of them even also want to start up their centralized central kitchen. So we train all these people on the soft skill areas as well as some a bit of hard skill. So people who come with when they come into the program, they basically know 30-40% how to run this businesses, but we put in a proper perspective. And when they finish off this program, they go out, they're able to sustain in the challenging industry. That is on the B40. On the gig economy, we connect them to how to use the digital platforms, how to go shopping online, how to create platforms for them, how to connect them to the freelancing, the platforms. So that is on the gig economy. And with regards to Place and Train, Place and Train has been one of the most effective and successful programs HRD have ever done. We used to do this under the banner of Train and Place. It's just a tweaking, little bit of tweaking. Train and Place, normally you train first, then you look for the placement. But we realized that concept did not give us enough results what we wanted. Yes, we had results, but that does not cater to the results what we wanted. So we have tweaked the program into Place and Train. So what we do, before you come in to get the training done, we get the placement ready for you. We want to that you get the placement. No point, Rizal, we continue to train people. After the training has been done, they don't have value proposition on the table. They come to HRD Corp as an unemployed graduate or people who have lost jobs. They come, they get the training done, and they end up still being unemployed. We did not bring any value to them. So we want to make sure there is a proper, solid value proposition is there. So we embark very hard on the Place and Train. Before you start the training, you must get the offer letters. You must make sure your employers are there. You have secured the job. Then we train you on the respective job that the employers are looking out for. Once the job is done, once the training is done, you get on to the job. Either once again, it's completely your own will how long you want to be with the employer. But at the times of pandemic right now, any job is critical job. Any job, you can't be too choosy about either I can go into only multinationals or GLCs. I cannot choose my employees. As long as I have a job now, I get onto the job. I make sure there's an earning every month, end of the month, and I think I get on with it. So I think we have sizable. The good thing about us, being successful in this program is because we have close to 50,000 employees registered with us HRD Corp. Whereas some of the other institutions or agencies, they may not have this a value added advantage. We have close to 50,000 employees with us, and we know what sort of jobs our employees are looking out for. So people who are coming to us for jobs, for training, after the training we connect them to the jobs immediately.
But Dato', perhaps you can share with us, are these employers still hiring during this very challenging period?
Well, I think I would say there are still jobs available. We cannot come to a factor that there's no jobs available in Malaysia. There are jobs. There are more jobs that are more than what we expected. There are still companies. Of course, some industries are doing badly during pandemic, but some industries are doing very well during pandemic. Some industries are being very moderate. So if you calculate in a bigger perspective, there are still jobs coming in. Every week we have been doing placing almost close to 600 to 700 people from HRD Corp. Who come for training, and it comes from different factories. Even you'll be surprised, some of the SMEs are still hiring. Not all the SMEs. Some of the SMEs are still hiring people. Of course, SMEs don't hire people like 20 people or 30 people, but they are taking 1, 2. Even for HRD Corp, we have 50,000 employers. Discounting a factor of 50% of the employees are hiring. If 25,000 employees are hiring at a rate of 2 staffs a company, I should be able to fulfill 50,000 jobs from my end. So that is the ratio and the proportion that we are looking into.
Datuk, we'll take a short break. When we come back, let's talk about your original purpose, your mandate, and how you have probably or perhaps relook at that during the pandemic, and how you have shifted perhaps some of your mandate to ensure that you can support the initiatives put forth by the government. Let's take a short break. When we come back, let's talk about that.
Saya Mahathir Muhammad Hilal, berasal daripada Seksyen 24 Shah Alam. Umur saya 38 tahun. Alhamdulillah, saya dapat kursus Cook and Sell ni. Mungkin selepas ni saya akan buka kedai, dan saya juga baru ambil dokumen daripada MBSA untuk mohon buat permohonan kedua untuk dapatkan kedai di Shah Alam lah. InsyaAllah saya akan come out dengan satu kedai lah kalau diberi peluang.
Setiap orang jangan hadkan keupayaan sendiri. Kalau minat nak buat apa, teruskan, pergi cuba. Walaupun saya OKU, tapi saya memang tak boleh duduk diam-diam di rumahnya. Sebelum PKP, saya mengajar berenang. Saya mesti nak cari peluang lain. Saya tak boleh limitkan saya punya keupayaan hanya mengajar berenang. Mungkin saya ada kemahiran yang lain, saya nak belajar. Saya punya kawan share dengan saya, penjana HRDF ada banyak kursus. Mungkin make up sesuai untuk OKU. Macam saya tak pernah menceburi dalam bidang persolekan. Tetapi selepas saya ambil kursus dalam penjana HRDF, saya sudah ada asas. Terima kasih kerajaan untuk peluang ini.
My name is Mary Francis. I'm 57 years old. I've been in the airline industry for the past 33 years. I was the leading stewardess. So I applied for this online teaching thing, and I found that it was very good, especially nowadays everything is being done online, and online teaching not only can be used for in terms of teaching or in education, but also in business. So I enrolled in this online teaching. The teachers were very good, and it has given people an opportunity to carry on with whatever they are doing, be it in education, business, or whatsoever. I would like to thank the Ministry of Human Resources and the government for giving me an opportunity to enroll in the e-Latte program.
Bertemu kembali anda bersama saya Rizal Zulkafli, dan ini Agenda Awani. Kita masih lagi berbincang mengenai HRD Corp dan juga secara khususnya inisiatif dan juga program yang dijalankan oleh HRD Corp bagi menjana sektor pekerjaan ketika tempoh mencabar selaras dengan pelan pemulihan negara. Sebentar tadi kita membincangkan berkenaan dengan inisiatif latihan yang diberikan kepada pelbagai kumpulan pekerja yang dilakukan oleh HRD Corp. Sekarang kita ingin membincangkan berkenaan dengan mandat asal dan juga bagaimanakah mandat ini mungkin berubah sedikit ketika tempoh pandemik ini, bersama dengan Ketua Eksekutif HRD Corp, Datuk Syahul Hamid Daud. Datuk, coming back to that question, you look at your original purpose and how have you realigned what you're doing now to also address the unemployment brought forth by the pandemic?
Rizal, our primary mandate is to facilitate training and development. We need to make sure that our country is knowledge-based economy, fully transformed to become a skill-based employee workforce. We are the custodian of training and development in the country. So we want to make sure that training has been we are serious about training for every employee. We don't want to just train certain group of trainees and we left out certain group of employees. This is possible only with the expansion of the Act. See, dulu HRD Corp, we used to have only three sectors, which is manufacturing, services, and mining. Used to pay levy HRD Corp. And we used to have 33,000 employers registered with us. So we had always had this, we wanted to do this expansion of the Act 2 years before. There's always a question mark. Why only these three sectors have to pay levy and the employees? Why the rest has been left behind? So, but it goes back with the Act, amendment of the Act. So we decided to go for one of the largest amendment of Act ever, and it was implemented in the 1st of March. Now HRD Corp have done the expansion of the Act. Now we have close to 55,000 companies have registered with us. In the last 3 months or so, we have an increase of 65% in the increase in the registration. We are going for close to 6.1 million people will be trained in a period of next 2 to 3 years time. So this is what we are looking into in a larger perspective. Only when your workforce is employed, only when your workforce is skilled, then you get to see a better knowledge-based economy in the country. Of course, there's a lot of issues that has been raised why we need to increase the expansion of the Act, but we have to do so. Under the World Bank report, 5% of the money that has to be spent on training and development, whereas in Malaysia we are still at 1% to 1.5%, maximum 2%. We are still far behind the World Bank ratio. So HRD Corp, we are very aggressive. We have expanded the Act. This gives us a bigger mandate to make sure that we train at least 6.1 million of workforce in the country.
But Dato', are you training them with the most current skills, future skills? How do you ensure that you can still be relevant and also the skills that they pick up will continue to be relevant in the future?
See, this is where the beauty is. HRD Corp, we don't do training, but we have aligned training and development in line with whatever the market is all about. Let's say we have trainings on robotics, we have trainings on drone area, we have trainings on artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. At the same time, we also have training on networking. Now we are embarking on a 5G. So we are making sure that our training and development is up to the standard, up to the market, and up to the demand. But not every SMEs or not every employers are really willing to go into the latest up-to-date technology. So our development is very balanced. We are catering to people who still want to go into normal Microsoft training programs. We have trainings who want to go into advanced Internet of Things, big data. We have also training that is catering towards artificial intelligence. So we give the option to the training providers. We give option to the employers. It is ultimately their choice where they want to position their workforce.
And Dato', besides collecting levy from employers, how else are you working together with the employers? I'm sure you ask them about the skills that they need for their employees or from their employees. But what else and how else can you work together with these employers in the future? You move from 3 sectors to now more sectors, I believe, with more employers coming on to become members of the HRD Corp. How else are you working with these employers?
From 3 sectors, we have moved to 18 sectors right now.
Wow.
The advantage, we are making all this advantage in favorable to HRD Corp. What we have done recently, we have launched a couple of our initiatives in line with the expansion of the Act. One is the PC, which is a placement center. This is not a job site. This is a placement center. What we make sure that we work with all these employers. We talk to them and we get all those relevant job opportunities, from those employers. We also get those trainees who come to us for training. We make sure that this training and our employers are being meshed, and we focus on the offer letters. We are not keen on people coming in for interview and we don't know what's happening after that. We want to make sure that people come to us, they attend the interview, they go for multiple levels of screening, and we want to make sure that they get the offer letters at the end of the day. So that is the HPC. Our HPC has been very successful, and it was launched 3-4 months ago. And it has been very successful. This is one of the initiatives that has come from the expansion of the. Second, we are launching our Janapurna. Janapurna is never in HRD Corp before. We go into entrepreneurship training. We go into taking care of entrepreneurs and SME development. But this time, this pandemic has pushed that to many corners. We have to make sure that we come out strong, and we have to face with the market challenges. There's a lot of people who lost job after the training. We want to make sure we handhold them. We give them the last mile, So we created a platform called Janapurna. This is the first of its kind in the country, which is focusing on B2B and B2C. Majority of the platform, which are very successful in Malaysia, are B2C. And we are making sure that because we have the employee base, we can focus on the B2B very easily compared to many people. Compared to HRD Corp and any other ABC company starting a Janapurna or maybe entrepreneurship platform, we can start straight away with the 50,000 employees from the day one. Whereas for the rest of them, they have to take time to build onto the employees database. Whereas we have straight away we got it. So our Janapurna is being very effective. We have close to 1,800 sellers are there in our platform right now, which has not even launched. We have close to 3,000 products are there with us. This is just not only for B2C product. This is also a service platform. People want a welder, people want a wireman, people want a plumber. All this can be sourced from our platform. So all these things are happening because of the expansion of the Act. Number 3, we are looking into SEBA. SEBA is all the seniors. No, Malaysia, has become an aging population, and not everybody who are getting retired have enough money or savings into their kitty. So we want to make sure those people are, some of them are very effective. They can still be, able to contribute back to the society and the economy. So we are getting all these people to put up a program called Seniors Back in Action. What we try to do, we get the jobs from the employers that is in line with the seniors. We give them a job opportunities. They can contribute for 2 hours, 3 hours a day. They can come twice a week, depends on the availability, and they get to have some earnings. So we have created a lot of interesting platforms, initiative in line with the expansion of the Act, Rizal.
Well, Dato', what you're doing sounds very much like the active labour market policy, where you be proactive and you plan for the future of these employees. You upskill them, you provide them with education and training. Moving forward, how does HRD Corp programs and initiatives fit with the government's overall plan for the nation's economic recovery and growth?
Our next immediate one will focus on the 5G. Government is going to embark big time on the 5G, and if I'm not mistaken, there's around 30,000 to 50,000 job opportunities are going to evolve from this 5G. Let's go back a little bit and track the history. Majority of the times we fail on the technology deployment, not just because of the infrastructure. We fail because of the skills, knowledge. 2 things we do. We either quickly import people from overseas to catch up to that level, and sometimes we get these people to do the knowledge transfer. Majority of the time, the knowledge transfer doesn't happen effectively. So this time, with the support of MOF and Laksana, what we try to do, we are starting to train our people in line with 5G with immediate effect. We are going to roll out, and these people will be trained on different types of skills, network engineering, soft skills on 5G, in all those advanced certifications that is in line with the 5G. So when the market, when the hardware is ready to roll out and the program is going to take off, we have enough human capital is ready to support the initiative. So 5G is immediate thing what we are going to do. Then we also going to roll out a special program for all those prisoners with minor crimes. We call them second option for all those people. There are 60,000 minor offenders are there in the prison. And the government has been spending substantial money taking care of these people. I strongly believe that everybody should be given a second option, second chance. And we are going to train these people in line with the respective knowledges. We are going to open up laundry services. We're going to open up some of the, technical jobs, craft tangans, handicraftings. So these people can go back to the market. If we don't give them an opportunity, if we don't give them options, they might go back to the same role once again. So HRD Corp is doing a lot of all this kind of initiatives right now.
And Dato', HRD Corp has about 55,000 employers working with it, right?
Yeah.
Is there a target for this year, end of this year or next year, as to how many employers do you want to work with?
We are targeting 100,000 employers by end of this year, and by year 2023 we should have 250,000 employers. That's almost 5 times what we used to have.
And how are you working towards that?
See, once your base get expanded, 2 things will happen. One, your annual levy collection will be very high, very heavy. We are collecting almost 900 million levy every year. That's very sizable. By moving into the expansion of the Act and 250,000 employers coming in, we might collect maybe 3 billion levy, in the next 2 years from now. While the levy collection is 3 billion, 80% of the levy is normally paid out on the same year to the training providers. So the training market will get, will get boosted big time. The market will grow big time. From now we are paying close to 550 to 600 million every year to the training industry. In 2023, we will pay 80% of 3 billion, which is 2.4 billion will be given back to the industry. So what we are doing right now, we are making sure that we are imposing a lot of quality control in terms of training and development, trainers development, authorization of training centers. So we got to make sure that all these people are highly qualified, they have great qualities. So when the market is expanding, they're able to meet up to the expectation with the market. So there's a lot of initiatives we are doing at the ground level. In fact, we used to take 2 months to approve training centers. Now we are doing in less than a week. Training center approval is done in less than a week, and we are catering in line with the present market. So we have done blueprints before. We have done 5 years plan, 4 years plan. But as a matter of fact, those 5 years plan will not be effective anymore. The COVID has changed the entire landscape of the training industry. So we are very practical and pragmatic in our approaches. Every inch we are doing it very carefully to make sure that it understands market expectation and be able to deliver to the market needs.
On that note, thank you very much, Dato' Shahul Hamid Daud, Ketua Executive HRD Corp, for joining us today and explaining to our viewers on how HRD Corp can support the government's initiative to increase employment, especially quality training through quality training in this country. Itu saja agenda Awani daripada saya, Rizal Zulkafli, untuk hari ini. Teruskan bersama kami di Astro Awani, berita sekejap dimensi. Salam hormat.